Please refer to links in description box for sources and haikus. 5 stories in 5 minutes or less. Story number 1.
Here's the cut to the chase facts. I did not send or receive any emails marked classified at the time. I did not email any classified material. There is no classified material.
As you can see, Snopes, as usual, was backing up Hillary Clinton's lies. They think if they come out and they just bolster her little story that everyone's going to believe it, and some people do, sadly. But then you can go to WikiLeaks and you can see in black and white exactly what is being said is true. Oh yes, but then there are those who think that WikiLeaks are all about the Russians. Well, last week, in case you missed it, Judicial Watch revealed that there were at least 18 classified emails within the almost 800 documents that were produced by the State Department from the FBI's investigation. The State Department had released 147 new Huma Abedin work-related emails, and there were over 800 in total. And it was clearly shown that the emails were found on the laptop of Anthony Weiner, who was the estranged husband of former Clinton. Speaking of Wieners. Story number 2. Metro UK publication reports how a guy got his penis stuck jumping over a tube station barrier. You know what I find most interesting about this article particularly is how the wording almost makes it sound like the guy was just not doing anything too bad. You know, they even use the word superhero. Speaking of criminal activity, story number 3. Back in December of 2011, the Russian foreign minister shot back at Secretary Clinton for her criticism that Russia's elections were neither free nor fair. Clinton, who had previously chastised Russia's state Duma elections, had stepped up the rhetoric while speaking at an organization, quoting, "When authorities fail to prosecute those who attack people for exercising their rights or exposing abuses, they subvert justice and undermine the people's confidence in their governments." She went on to say, "As we have seen in many places, and most recently in the Duma elections in Russia, elections that are neither free nor fair have the same effect." This was quite a statement and a foreshadowing of her own very future. This might be the only thing that I agree with Clinton on as applied to her. That woman is crazy. Speaking of crazy. Story number 4. Anyone paying attention knows that the backup plan to the Russia narrative, now that that's not panning out for the leftist lunatics, is to put this narrative out there that President Trump is crazy. They started it last year, then you have all these doctors that are saying that he's crazy. It's absolutely absurd. Of course, he's defended himself and his sanity in recent tweets, and it is just all crazy. It's crazy. And still continuing, and speaking of crazy, story number 5.
If you take on the alt-right, you will lose. And you'll look pretty fucking stupid at the end of it. And here's why. We in the alt-right ceased caring about social acceptability some time ago. And we are, as a result of that, sometimes quite brash and mindlessly offensive, sure.
So this isn't to pick on Millennial Woes. I don't even sub to his channel. Actually, I can understand some of the premise of what these guys are saying on the right. And many of us are in the same internet realm, so you likely know what I'm talking about here. But just read these comments. Some of these guys are just as fucking much of a lunatic as the people on the left. Come on, guys. Do you really want to be associated with that crap? Yeah, it's easier said than done, but maybe we can at least try a little bit. All right, everybody. Have a great week.